Florida.
Let's get more on the preparations for Hurricane Irma in Florida. Joining me is Corene Matyas, an associate professor of geography at the University of Florida. Corene, thanks for joining us. You know about hurricanes more than most of us. What do you think is going to happen when Irma hits Florida?
Well, there can be a lot of different impacts from the storm. We're certainly going to see damaging winds. Tropical storm force winds extend quite far out from the center. And in a lot of areas that have trees, you don't need hurricane force winds to get the trees to fall down and have power outages. Storm surge is going to be a very big problem, water pushing inland through bays and inlets. Depending on the forward speed of the storm, heavy rainfall could occur, and tropical cyclones can also produce tornadoes as well.
Now, you're in Gainesville, which is more inland from Miami. Have you seen much evidence that people are heeding the warnings to get out of the coastal areas and evacuate?
Very much so. Here in Gainesville, we're about 100 miles south of the Florida-Georgia border, and for the last couple of days, the main interstate that goes through the center of Florida, I-75, has been packed with people. Gas stations here in Gainesville have run out of gas. Store shelves have been emptied here in Gainesville, and we're inland. So there's a lot of people that are coming up through this area of north central Florida, trying to make their way to Georgia and points further north.
Now, some 25 years ago, Florida had to deal with Hurricane Andrew, devastating hurricane it was. What do you think it's going to be in relation to that, Irma?
Well, it depends on how populated of an area the maximum winds end up hitting. If we get maximum winds making landfall over the Everglades, that will certainly spare a lot of areas, but there are hurricane force winds extending quite a bit out from the storm center. So buildings are at risk, homes are at risk, so there could be a lot of building damage.
Now, we do mention, and as you did before, storm surges. That really is the devastating, kind of quickly hidden dangers that we see after the winds. We saw that with Harvey. Just explain what they actually are.
Well, the storm surge is a rise of water that happens in conjunction because you've got a little bit of a low pressure center with the tropical cyclone, so the water rises up to fill the gap, but mostly because the energy from the tropical cyclone is being put into the water and it's pushing the water out ahead of the storm. And so where the coast comes in, then the water gets more shallow, and so that energy doesn't have anywhere to go but to be pushed inland.
Corene, thank you very much for your time. That's Corene Matyas, a professor of geography at the University of Florida.